welcome to the Unlock Your Limitless Potential podcast. I am your host, Amy Moore, also known as Amy Hates Carrots, and I am a transformational coach, a trainer of many subconscious, somatic, and energetic modalities, and a spiritual business mentor who is here to support you in quieting that darn carrot-chasing ego, aligning to what your soul is calling you to instead, and diving deep within to activate the limitless potential and wisdom that already exists within you now. On this podcast, you'll learn all about your inner world, how to create the reality that you want, how to make decisions that support your truest, most limitless self, and how to create positive and lasting change in your life and your soul-driven business. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's dive in, shall we? Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Unlock Your Limitless Potential. Today, I am joined by the gorgeous Viviana, who is a self-love activator. She supports you in igniting the dark and light feminine fire within and the creator within yourself. And she has this beautiful brand called Lovesgravity that is all about the journey back to self-love and the goddess within you. And I'll ask her to dive much deeper into this, but it means the gravitational force that draws all things that are love back to you. She creates these amazing rising goddess transformational experiences, self-love retreats in Italy and other places. And for years now, she has been doing tarot and oracle readings, which I have had very many over the years knowing her. And every time they seriously they provide so much confirmation, validation, and guide me in the direction that I was being called to already, but just like that confirmation that you just need sometimes and the clarity for your life, for your relationships, for your business. I seriously remember every single reading I've had with her and the beautiful imagery and metaphors that she has provided to me. They stay in my head forever. So Viv is amazing. She's my Virgo sister from another mister. She's gorgeous inside and out. And I'm just so excited to welcome you to the podcast today, Viv. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. I've been excited about this. Thank you for inviting me. I love being invited to things and podcasts and all of it. It's so fun. And who doesn't like talking about themselves, right? And their passion.
Yes. And I
Let's
love
just be
it.
honest.
And you have such an amazing mission and purpose driven soul and everything. And it's been so beautiful witnessing you really step into that more and more and evolve your business over the years. And I'm just so excited to geek out with you today.
I know. It's my business, started with just a passion project. It started from there. It started from one deck. And I was terrified because I, grew up Catholic and my mom is very Christian and all of the family very Italian Christian Catholic. And so it was terrifying for me to pick up a deck that was very woo and, taboo and all of the things. I had all those mindsets and I just looked at it and the first step was ordering it. I probably cried for 3 days before actually having the guts to order it. Because it just went against everything that I knew, that I knew about our own power and spirituality and religion, all the things. So that was really the beginning of my awakening. And it brought me to where I am today. So yeah, the growth has just been immense. Because if you saw my office now, I've got tarot decks, oracle decks, goddess decks. I'm working on my own deck now. So it's they're all over the place. But through the years, I didn't give up on tarot and I didn't want to. I refused to, although all the attacks would come and they still come. This is a conversation that I can't have with my mother. There's just no There's no conversation. But I stand strong in it because I know the way that I use it. I use it in as a tool to empower and to inspire. And so I realized early on in my journey that this is just it's intention. Everything is intention.
Yes.
And I'm not taking away the power that we have by using the tarot. I'm not giving the tarot the power or the cards the power. I don't have the power as your reader. You have the power. As we both know in this work that we do, we are the ones that hold the power within us through our mindset, through our thoughts, through our subconscious, through all of those things, right? Our intentions, our actions. We're the creators, the co-creators. So I don't give the power to the tarot, but it's like a cool tool to use to open a conversation, to look at current energy, to inspire and empower, and to, kind of look a little bit deeper through your own journey, right? Our
Yeah.
own daily journey. So I went from that one deck to about 45 decks now. And if it still fascinates me, because I can pick up a deck and learn something new every day, and I can read one tarot card. Oh, look at that, the Empress. I could read one tarot card and be inspired by that card and learn something, um, and apply it to my own life so that I can then move forward in my journey and raise even higher to my higher self. So yeah, I never gave up on the tarot, and I never will. I never will.
Love
Again, I
it.
do believe that some people use it in a negative way.
Mhm.
I believe that they can trap people or use it to place fear on you, or to give the power to the tarot, and the answers are all in the tarot and the cards, and that's not true. That's
Yeah.
not true. That is what some people do. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
So
And like you said, it goes back to intention. Their intention isn't from a place of necessarily love or just
yeah.
pure support of that other person. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the intention that I set overall over the entirety of Love's Gravity, the entirety of the Rising Goddess transformational experience, the entirety of my personal interaction with my client. Um, as we set off into the reading, I don't call it a reading because it really isn't a reading. It's more of an experience. It's more of a transformational experience. Um, but that's the intention that I set right off the bat, and that's the direction that we go in, because again, we're manifestors. So whatever we speak, whatever we claim, whatever we command shall be, right?
Yes, I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And you mentioned Love's Gravity. Will you kind of dive a little deeper into that story of the origin of it and your life journey that led to that?
Oh my gosh, Love's Gravity still gives me the chills. And it like makes me emotional. Like I'm already tearing up because it's such a powerful, not just a story, but just the word in itself. I was in my room a few years ago, back in like 2015, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2015. And I heard this word, and it wasn't just hearing it, I felt it. I
Mhm.
felt it in my soul, and it was just like pulsating in my heart. And I just kept hearing this word, and I thought, what is this word? And I wrote it down. And I remember, I wish I had that paper where I wrote it down, but I wrote it down, Love's Gravity, all one word, right? So you would think that it's Love's Gravity, two separate words, but it just wasn't. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't separate the words. They had to go together. And so when then I started like playing around with it, oh, maybe I'll start this little business called Love's Gravity, or what does it even mean? I still didn't even know what it meant. It took a couple years to actually figure out what it truly meant to me and what it was going to be. But whenever I would see the word separately, as no, it just can't be like that. They've got to be together. And I couldn't figure out why
Yeah.
until like I think around 2016, 2017. I got it. I realized, like, with my work and with the readings and working with women and inspiring women, empowering women, I realized that what Love's Gravity was is it's the two words together, love and gravity, they can't be separated. It's the same thing. Gravity is love, love is gravity. They come together, right? So it's the journey of the goddess, returning within you. So it's almost like we are born into this world and we separate ourselves from the higher power, right? Love, unconditional love. And we gain all of this other shit, right? We gain fears and pain and suffering and tragedies and trauma, all of the things that we experience in life. And so we get further and further from love, God, source. But our journey is that to return back, right?
Mhm.
So it's the journey of returning back to that goddess within you, that unconditional love within you. And it's the gravitational force that draws all things that are love back to you. So there's this force that no matter what, even as far as you may go, it's still there. Love is always there because it's within you. You are love. No matter how far you may, how many things happen to you, how many experiences happen to you, love is still within you. And it's always gravitating back towards you and drawing you back to the source. And that's what Lovesgravity is. And when I finally understood it, I cried for days because I thought, oh my gosh, this is why I couldn't separate the words, because me and God, me and source, me and love cannot be separate.
Yeah.
It just is not. We are one, we are whole, we are all one, and we are whole. So it was a very powerful moment for me. And then taking it a step further to decide that I needed to create an experience to teach this to other women, to teach that goddess energy to other women, and love to other with self-love. So then I had the audacity to call myself a self-love activator. And and why that came to me is because I don't always activate you with the kindness, sweetness, honey. Sometimes I need to snap you out of something, right? Sometimes I need to activate that, like light that shit up. Like sometimes
Mhm.
you need that shaking a little bit. But it all comes from just unconditional love and just an openness of heart from myself and to whoever comes across my path. Yesterday I was in LA and I had this, I don't know, I wasn't supposed to be there. And I just knew that I needed to go. This is for the travel part of the Lovesgravity retreats and bespoke experiences and all that. So I was there working on that. And I was like, gosh, I have so many other things to do. I don't know if can be here. And this woman was basically sent to me, that's falling apart. And I was like, this is why. And I knew I'm like, I have 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes to get through to this woman. Cause if I don't, who knows? She's already on the downhill. And
Mhm.
so that's when I remembered, I said, I am a self-love activator. Activate this woman. You've got 5 minutes. And I just went in and like lit her shit up. And I was like, this is what I do. I needed to be very assertive and empowering her and reminding her who the fuck you are. This is who
Mhm.
you are.
Yeah.
Wake up. And so yeah, that's me, girl.
I
But
love it.
Lovesgravity has grown, and from the rising goddess transformational experience to coaching women to be in their power and their goddess state, um shifting them from victimhood to empowerment, right? And then moving from there, the Sage and Rise experience for corporations or groups. And then the retreats, like you said, the self-love retreats. I have the Eat, Pray, Love in Italy and Sedona retreats. And so those are a gift, those are a part of Lovesgravity that are a gift to my clients or any woman that really wants a self-love experience in somewhere like Italia.
Yes, why
La
not?
dolce
Oh my
vita.
gosh.
Yeah, so those are beautiful in itself. We eat, we wine, we dine, we dance, we sing, we cry, we love. I do little workshops here and there. We have excursions. We visit Capri, the Amalfi Coast. It's epic. It literally is epic. So yeah. So I didn't get here by chance. I got here with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I had to die inside multiple times. I had multiple ego deaths. Um, Man, just looking back at when I realized that Love's Gravity was a thing, because at first, like I said, it was just um, a passion project. It was just this word that I had. And when I had that first ego death, that soulmate loss, that I was very in love, and that separation with this person activated that spiritual part of me. And I had this DMT spiritual experience that knocked me on my ass. Like, it changed my life, because I realized that, oh, wow, we are energy. It's in our body. We're always connected to source. This experience came from my own breath. It came from my own breath and my own consciousness. And it lasted like a long time. And I didn't understand it. I just knew that it was powerful, and it changed me, and it ignited this whole Love's Gravity journey. But I died multiple times. I went into a cocoon. I literally, if I had to explain my experience, I lived in a cocoon for many years, a few years. I couldn't, I was an amazing experiential marketing producer. I worked on BMW, Mercedes, like big clients, and I could have paid them to let me do an event, and it would have been like, no. And I used to do great events. It just shut down. Everything shut down. Everything shut down, because I had to learn who I was as that goddess within me. I had to experience having nothing. I lost money, opportunities, jobs, people, loved ones. And it's just like I went in the cocoon, and there was no getting out of it. And I struggled and struggled, because my ego wanted to get me out. How do I do this? How do I do that? But I need a job, but I need that. No, God said, no, you don't need any of those things. All you need is you and God. That's all you need. Love and yourself, and love and love and love. And I was like, bro, really? No, I have bills to pay. And God said, no, I will provide. And everything shut down. This is around the time that you and I met.
Mm-hmm.
All I could do, Amy, was be in this beautiful office and have women like you come to my office and read with me. That's it.
Yeah.
There wasn't much more, because I needed to learn that I didn't need anything, right? I had to get rid of my BMW. I got rid of this. I didn't need any of those things. I just needed to fall in love with myself again, and to trust God, and to trust source, universe, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
That I was on the right path. And then from there, it opened up everything that's now happened. And I still check myself, because I don't want to be that, very busy working 10 hours. I mean, that's what I was. I was killing myself. 15-hour
Yeah.
days on the laptop, overexhausted, overtired. God said, no, you're learning about feminine energy. You are learning about what the feminine is, how she needs to function, how to be healthy, how to be wealthy in your feminine energy, how to balance your feminine and masculine energy, and how to then apply that to every part of your life. And that's the gift. And I would not have learned that had I been out of that cocoon, had
Yeah.
I been overworked, overtired, overstressed, overwhelmed, putting my energy in other things other than balancing that yin and yang within myself. That was the gift.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
and as difficult as it was, because it's terrifying. It's terrifying to let go and to have faith. Truly have faith. There are times that I think, I don't know how the hell I made it here. The rent here was outrageous. I didn't have a steady job. How? And God said, I'll show you, because my passion and my desire, the intention was, Love's Gravity will survive. Love's Gravity is something that needs to be put out there. Love's Gravity is my passion and my desire. And so the intention went out and God said, I got you.
Yes. Oh, I love it so much. Thank you for sharing that. It's such a powerful story, and a couple things are coming up for me. It's so interesting how those chapters of our lives, they still serve such a bigger purpose. Like, you were so successful in this career path of yours, and look at how like you were learning exactly things you needed to know to be able to create these experiences for women now. Like, just how like your whole journey is so woven together so beautifully just to support and serve you, even in those horrible cocoon chapters. It's like they
Oh my gosh.
all still serve such a purpose.
They always do. I really believe that nothing is in vain. You're always exactly where you're meant to be. And sometimes we might get misdirected and it might take longer. But yes, 100%. Even to the point of like getting my bachelor's in psychology, and I never used it. I went from getting my
Yeah.
bachelor's in psychology to then planning events to planning corporate events. So it was like wedding planning, corporate events, and then dying. That's what I always say. I always say I died because that's what happened in 2016,
Yeah.
right? That Viviana was gone in a way, but all of those things that I did in the past, everything then came together for Lovesgravity, because now I'm using the psychology parts of it for my clients. I'm using the event production experience in my retreats and any of it. So it still all comes together. There was nothing that I did ever, even getting married at the young age of 20 and going through that divorce. Do you know how many women I help coach through their divorces? I had the most horrendous divorce you could ever imagine. Imagine I was married at 20, married an Italian man. It That's a whole podcast in itself, girlfriend. Like, we need to book that next. Like, man, breaking up with an Italian man. Like, wow. Uh,
It could have its own series, like
it can
just
have its
multiple
own
episodes.
series, and but it's it was a powerful story because I was so young. I didn't know who I was. I had zero feminine energy. It was buried underneath abuse and fear and so much trauma and insecurities. It was just buried. I didn't have any of that. And so I had this marriage that was basically created around that. And then the depolarization of both of us because we were out of our power. He was out of his masculine power. I was out of my feminine power. And so it's fascinating to me because now I look back and I think, oh my God, like this is why this was like that. And this is why this is like that. Had I known, back then, who knows what could have happened with our marriage. We have two absolutely amazing kids. We were just talking about Dario and Nadia. And wow, like that brings me to tears because I fucking made that. you know,
Yeah.
I made that. And I'm so proud of myself that I have these two strong, beautiful, hilarious, in touch, connected, artistic, creative. I could be here for days. And I'm not just saying that because they're my kids.
Yeah. No, they
I'm
are. I
they
can,
are.
yes.
You can attest to that.
Yes.
And they're beautiful, and so I have no regrets. I live with no regrets. Everything that has happened from the divorce, even the divorce itself, because now I can help women and show them what to do and how to don't do what I did, essentially. Don't do what I did. I lost myself for 2 years, but I
Yeah.
didn't have the tools like you, right? You have the tools. I'm helping you, show you the way. I'm reminding you of your power and where to be in your mind, in your body, in your soul, to align yourself so you don't do what I did. Don't lose yourself for 2 years, right? And so that's a powerful story. During my marriage, I had severe anxiety, very, very severe anxiety. I was out of alignment, and I can help with that. I got myself out of anxiety. I was in and out of the hospital for months, years, not months, years, in and out, severe anxiety, panic attacks, you name it. I was 268 pounds. I was severely obese. I mean, I have, fuck, man, like all the things I've been through it, right? So, so it's like, get yourself out of all of that and
Yeah.
be in your feminine goddess power. And it's a daily job. It's not like I'm there, we're all working on it. It's a journey. But just the fact that I experienced all those things, and then the stroke, right? Then I had the
Yeah.
stroke last year.
Last year.
Fluke thing. Um, had a hold in my heart since birth that I never knew. And I had this stroke. It happened the same weekend as what's her name? Haley Bieber. Haley Bieber
Oh,
had the same thing on that same weekend.
that's
And
so wild.
yeah, and it's just crazy because nothing, I would have never imagined that I would have experienced something like that. But
Yeah.
nothing happens without there being a lesson for you, without it helping you take the next step. And that happening was so in alignment, with what I was asking of the universe. I was asking for better health, for just so many things about my body. And then I had a stroke and I was like, really? Really?
You're like,
I
that's
thought
the
I was
opposite
asking.
of what I
I,
said.
I I'm
Hello.
saying, I'm claiming and affirming that I'm healthy and I have a stroke. No,
Yeah.
this is not the right thing. And yet it was.
It was, because who knows when that would have happened in the future, or like what that could have led to, or I mean, you could play that game forever, the what if,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
and
yeah,
it pushed me to love myself even more.
yeah,
It pushed me to desire to really pay attention to my body even more, because the goddess it's all encompassing. She's in love with her mind, with her body, with her spirit, with all three things. And there were things that I was lacking in. I was being a rebel when it came to certain foods that I was eating, or maybe not being as active as I needed to be. And so it made me look inside and really question that part of me. And so, yeah, I don't live with regrets in anything.
yeah,
I trust and believe that it's part of my path and my journey. And I always look forward into what it is that I'm creating and what I'm desiring and what I'm yeah, essentially creating and manifesting. And that's it. And everything has served me up until now.
yes. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. So if there are women that are like in this career path that they don't want to be in anymore, or even someone who starts their business, but they find themselves like just kind of being an employee in their business. Like they're working like a million gazillion hours and just do like burning themselves out constantly.
Mm.
So if they're like in that wounded, like masculine, just all the masculine, what would you like tips would you have for someone to like start the process of journeying to the feminine and really balancing that out and coming into that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is a conversation that I had yesterday with this woman. Very, very high powered, professional, successful woman, completely in her masculine energy. And she obviously didn't really know what I meant by you're out of your feminine energy, you're in your masculine. So I explained it to her. But when you're in your masculine energy, you are, like you said, you're in full force action mode.
Do.
Right. You're doing, you're acting, you're planning, you're strategizing, you're handling shit, right? Which is good. We need
Yeah.
to do that. If you're not balanced in your masculine energy, then we're never going to do anything, right? So yes, we need the masculine energy. The key is when you're done working or you've given your own self a boundary, because this is the other thing and I keep using this woman because she's like the perfect example, like
Love
perfect
it.
example. She has absolutely no boundaries. Clients will call her at all times of the night asking her for the silliest things. So she's overthinking. So now she's also in her masculine energy with the overthinking thoughts. So her brain is constantly going. There's no boundary anywhere. She, essentially, when you give yourself away to clients or to work and you make that a priority, what I told her is that you are giving the universe a message. So we're always giving the universe messages, and what we do, what we think, what we say, right? And
Yeah.
so her message to the universe is, I don't matter. I don't matter. this doesn't matter. My body doesn't matter. My time doesn't matter. My brain doesn't matter. My thoughts don't matter. My family doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. What matters are my clients. My clients matter. The work matters. And so universe only has one response, as we know, which is yes. Like high five. Cool. All right. So then universe is going to just mirror that in your 3D reality. Let me give you more shit.
Yeah. Oh, you want more of that? Here
Oh,
you
you
go.
want more? Oh, here you go. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're accepting shitty clients and people that treat you like shit. Cool, cool. Okay, let's give you more of that. Let's give you more of that because I mean, I don't know. I cuss, girl. Like, is that a bad thing? I'm sorry.
No, this is perfect.
I didn't even ask you before we started, but
Oh, yeah, no, it's explicit. We're good. We say all the words here.
say all the words. So, I told her you're the one creating this. You are the one creating this. You lack boundaries. You're telling the universe what you want by accepting all of the bullshit.
Yeah.
And so if you have shitty clients, you're allowing the shitty clients. You have to put an end to that. If you are overwhelmed and taking too many clients, then you need to put an end to taking in more clients. And let's drop a little bit further than that. Why? What's the why? Why are you there? Why do you have all of these clients and are overwhelmed and put all of this output in? Where are you in all of this? And so we drop a little further and we find that the ultimate thing is fear, right? There's fear there. I'm afraid of losing these clients because what happened, during 2020 and COVID, our industry was shut down, right? Events, travel, all of that was shut down. And so now she's trying to overcompensate because she's afraid. She's got that fear. She's the main breadwinner for her family. She told herself a story when she was 15 when her parents both died. Similar story, right? Both died. So she became the protector and taking care of the sisters and the siblings and everyone. So now she has this subconscious belief that she takes care of everyone. And so here's all of this masculine energy. I take care of everyone. I'm afraid. I have to overwork. I have to take all the shitty clients. I have to do everything they say. I have to bow down to them because if I don't, then I'm going to lose everything. So it comes down to fear.
Yeah.
It comes down to fear. You cannot be in feminine energy without faith and trust in the universe. It doesn't work. Feminine energy is trust and faith and flow and knowing. And that's what it essentially is. So you have to be able to let go and be in a place of knowing that you will be taken care of, that you will be safe, that universe has your back, right?
Yeah.
Always, even if it doesn't look that way all the time. But you have to know that. And when you're there, when you're in your goddess state, when you're in that flow, when you're in your body and you allow that feminine goddess energy to just take over, then you can lean back and receive, right? And so that's essentially the feminine energy. When can you let go and set boundaries and know that you will be taken care of because you are first, because your body is first, your mind is first, everybody else and everything else is second. Okay, Viviana, easier said than done. I have bills to pay. Yeah, so did I for 7 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a steady job. You tell me how I did it. How did I do it? Because God had me. God had my back because my passion, my intention, it's all intention. My passion and my intention was I need to build Lovesgravity to help other women. This is my passion and it was burning in my soul. It still burns, right? It's a fire that I have. Find that fire. Find your why. And then everything else will line up, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things to get to that feminine energy. There's unlayering. There's a lot of unlayering to get to the soul light that we are. And the unlayering is what? Fear.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting to the core of it. What is the fear? What is the ultimate fear? And once you can face the fear, then you could build from there. Okay, I'm looking at the fear. I know what it is. What do I do with this fear? Right? So there's so much more to this feminine and masculine energy that we could literally have 20,000 podcasts about.
Yeah.
But essentially, that's what I believe that it is. It's not just the leaning back and the allowing, because if you don't have the faith and don't know who you are as the goddess, then how do you lean back? You'll be terrified.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shedding and letting go and trusting and valuing yourself more, giving a new signal to the universe that I matter.
Yeah.
I count. This woman told her story at 15 years old that she didn't matter, that nothing mattered but her siblings. She needed to take care of everyone. And so that followed her throughout life. Now she's in her 60s
Yeah.
and that story still prevails. So, are you ready to tell the universe another story? I asked. Are you ready? Are you
Yeah.
ready to make yourself number one? Are you ready to love yourself? Tell me. This is why I have the audacity to call myself a self-love activator. Are you fucking ready?
Yeah.
Or do you want to keep doing what you're doing? Because we could keep doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, your hair's falling out. Let's keep letting the hair fall out. You want to plan for a wig? Yeah. Let's plan for the wig because it's coming. It's next.
Yeah, like your body's screaming at you all of these physical signs because you're just like so not doing what it is that you're being called to do. And so you're just really unhappy, all of the different states that aren't serving you. And yeah. And isn't it interesting? Like it's like fear and love. It always goes back to almost one or the other. Like it's the opposite of the frequency you need to be in, but it's so easy to stay in that fear. But
Yeah.
like you said too, like you pull back those layers and this again, like you said too, is like 20 million conversations because there's trauma, there's old stuff there's so much lived experiences, generations, all these things. But the more awareness that you have there, like the fear becomes less scary because you're like chunking down to really see like what is that fear and is it even mine? It might not even be yours to carry. And so that
Yeah.
level of just knowing.
The level of just knowing. And, I had to also be clear with what my role is in helping heal women. My role is to activate you, right? My job is to light you up, shake you up, wake you up, show
Yeah.
you the potential, and remind you of who you are as a goddess. And then, sure, you can come back and do coaching with me and really implement the feminine energy and balancing the masculine. But there's so many other healing parts of it that is not my job, right? I don't do
Yes.
somatic healing. I don't do the body healing. I don't do the breath work. I don't teach meditation, right? So, yes, to your point, it's a journey. It's a journey,
Yeah.
but at least start somewhere. The point is ask.
Yes.
That's number one. What do you want?
What
Do
do
you
you
want,
want?
what's your new story? That's why I told her,
Yeah.
calm the fuck down. I said, there's a lot here, but just settle down. You're
Yeah.
going to get there. You're going to get there. But number one, first and foremost, ask, what do you want? Are you ready? Are you ready to tell a new story? Are you ready to set a new intention? Are you ready to let go of that old person? Then from there, when you set that into the universe, then universe responds. Then you will get the coaches, the healers, the videos, the books, the whatever. Universe will respond.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this because of the work that I do. It happened to me when I had severe anxiety. We were talked about that a few minutes ago. I was dying, Amy. I thought I was dying. My body was shutting down. I had nothing. I would go to the hospital and they're like, "You're fine. You're fine. You're fine." And I'm like, "How could I be fine? I feel like I'm dying." My eyes would I would get these blurred situations where I couldn't see out of one eye. I was like, what the hell? So many things, right? And finally, I got on my knees and I asked God, and I am ready. I am ready. Tell me what I need to know. Show me what I need to know. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to make myself number one. Now listen, when you do that, the answers start to come, and boy did they come. I got a phone call from an 18-year-old boy out of nowhere. He said, "Hello, Mrs. Aiello, I feel really awkward calling you. He's like, basically he's like, you're a mom, you got kids, you're a woman, I'm 18. He's like, I don't know who the hell I think I am calling you. But he's like, overheard your brother. I have little brothers. I overheard one of them talking about you and like symptoms that you're having. And he said to me, I know exactly what you're going through. Dude, I mean, this is so powerful. And I just sat there like, just like, this was maybe days after I got on my knees and begged God, and I'm ready. I'm ready. Show me. Because I at that point didn't know what was wrong.
Yeah.
Like doctors didn't know what was wrong. It was a mess. It was a shit show. And so he said, are you having this? I said, yes. Are you having this? And like checked off every single symptom. And he said, you have severe anxiety. He's 18, Amy. 18. He's like, if this wasn't sent from God, like, I don't know, right? He's like, you have severe anxiety. This is what I did. You have to do exactly this and do it consistently over and over and over and over. And I was like, done. This is a sign from God. Done. And so I did what he said. So I had his advice and I did everything that he said for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Then I got this video that popped into my, email or something. And I was like, click, inspired action, right? Right. We know what that is. When you're manifesting, you get inspired action. So I didn't know these words at the time. This was years ago. I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know mind, body, spirit. I didn't know nothing. I knew nothing of the spiritual world at all. Healing, absolutely not. I went to church on Sundays. That was as far as it went. Right. And now looking back, I was like, oh my God. Right. And so I get this email or whatever. I watch this video. I'm like, oh my God, yes, that's another thing. Then I'm talking to a friend. I was like, okay, that's another thing. And so I had all of these pieces coming to me like a puzzle. And I had this whole program that I just said, I just knew intuitively that I needed to do all of these things. And at the end of it, if you look at it, it was a mind, body, spirit healing. It was a whole mind, body, spirit healing. And I just knew intuitively that I needed to heal all these three parts and work on them together to heal my anxiety. And months later, right? And so it encompassed body stuff, vitamins, food, removing toxins, breath work, meditation, visualization, brain waves. Girl, it encompassed mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
Years later with Lovesgravity, and as I grew my spirituality, I thought, oh my God, this was a full mind, body, spirit healing. And I had no idea. All I knew at the time was God was leading me. I felt it in my soul, in my body. God was leading me. And then 8 months later, I was like, wait a second. It was almost like I shifted timelines, not even realizing. I'm like, wait, when? Oh, I slept through the night. I've been sleeping through the night. Oh, I haven't had a panic attack. Oh, my heart's not racing. Oh, I haven't been in fear. Like all these things. And I was like, oh my God, it's gone. It's gone.
Amazing.
And it took several months of me being consistent. And this was, let's see, Dario, this was 17 years ago. And when the stroke happened and your nervous system gets out of whack and I started to have all that anxiety, I was like, nope, I know exactly what to do. I have my tools. I know exactly what to do. And I hit it. And I stayed with it. And, maybe a few weeks I got out of it.
Yeah.
But that's the power. That's the power of intuition. We are healers. We can heal ourselves. This is why tarot has a bad rap, because people give tarot the power. It doesn't have the power. You have the power.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me with tarot, especially, it's like sometimes it just finds the words that I'm just not connecting, but it's like I already feel a certain way. It's just kind of giving a word to it for me sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's everything is within you. These tools or these outside sources that are available to you, they're just supporting you in that process. It's not like you can't survive without them, or you're not going to proceed along your spiritual journey without them. It's like you don't actually need anything. It's when the reliance on the outside stuff that can become a problem, right? Yeah.
100%. It's the reliance on the other things and giving other things like in a Christian belief or the Bible, it'll say idols, right? Giving
Yeah.
idols the power. And the tarot would be considered like an idol. Look at, I can make this earring an idol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
I can make
anything.
anything an idol, a rock, a crystal, you know, yes. And some people do that and don't realize their power. And okay, that's their journey. And hopefully they'll awaken to knowing that they have their own healing power. In the meantime, maybe they need the crystals or the whatever it is to get them there.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're like everything again goes back to intention. We've said it like 5 times already. And so it's the intention that you give it. If you're giving your power away to the thing, then that's the intention that's going to come from it. And
Yeah,
so it's like using the tools while still knowing and trusting your own power and coming back to self-love and self-trust is really everything.
it's everything, the intention and what you're affirming. Like I realized a couple days ago that I this, other people also have the power to shift us if we're not careful. We have to be very careful, very vigilant in what other people's stories are and what they're influencing on us, because
Mhm.
they can say something to you and you could be like, wow, that's true. You know what? That's true. Like I had this friend that said to me, a couple years ago, oh, Viv, you're building this business, it takes years, it takes years. You have to have this part-time job or this other thing to survive, otherwise you're, and like I took that in and I believed it. I was like, yeah, she's right, and ever since then, like up until a year ago, that was my belief. I made her belief my belief. And
Yeah.
so, and I struggled and I couldn't understand why I was struggling until I went, wait a second. Why did I allow her belief to become my belief? Why did I make that an intention, an affirmation? Why did I believe that? Now I'm basically living out that belief
Yeah. It like
until I
feeds
said,
your fears. Like
it
it's
feeds your
feeding the
fear.
fears.
Yeah, until I said, no, no, love's gravity is enough, period.
Yeah.
It's enough. It's not even just enough. It's more than enough. It's abundant. I don't need to do other bullshit. I don't need to do other things. This is enough and it's going to be enough and it is enough. And so I
Yeah.
shifted my belief and my intention and my affirmation to it being enough and it changed everything. So we have to be really vigilant and like awake to not just what our own beliefs are, our own subconscious beliefs. And that's where you come in, right? Helping people shift their unconscious beliefs, but not only what our own beliefs are, but what other people's beliefs are and what we're
Yeah.
taking for truth.
I it still comes back to the knowing of yourself and the awareness that you have and how grounded you are in that.
Mm.
But like I really view people like that as first of all, it has nothing to do with you. They're just like projecting their own fears, and it's either you take it and apply it to yours or you don't. But
Yeah.
it's almost like they're almost like a mirror sometimes. And I feel like the universe is just kind of not in like a sneaky way. It's always in a supportive way, but it's like, are you sure? You said you're ready. Are you sure? Like almost like, let's just make sure that you really are seeing
Oh,
what it is that you are deciding to do and that you are really ready to trust.
oh gosh, 100%. And as we know as manifestors, that's what happens, right? Your subconscious doesn't want to change. Your subconscious likes to stay the same, right? It wants to stay the same. It doesn't want to change. It's comfortable in its old recording and that's its job. I'm
Yeah.
just going to spit out this old recording over and over and over. And so when you come in to change it and to rock its world, it's like, nope, we're going to keep doing this.
No.
Oh, nope, this is what we're
Yeah.
doing. I'm here to protect you and to just keep you safe. Nope. And so when you're shifting a belief, something big, even something you might have resistance in, then the subconscious is going to be like, no, no, remember this. Let's throw this in her face to like, maybe she'll come back and stay here. Like you said, are you sure? No, we want to stay here and safe. And that's when people get tripped up
Yeah.
because then they think, oh, this isn't working.
Yeah.
This isn't working because look, see, I freaking knew it. Just like my friend, with all her heart, she meant well. She absolutely meant well. She was trying to protect me. She was mirroring my own fear, like you said. She was mirroring my own fear and uncomfortableness, right? I have a family, I have kids, I got to support them. Who the fuck do you think you are running Lovesgravity and, go get a job, right? It's like, go get a damn job.
Yeah.
And so she just mirrored what my own fear was. And I ate it. I took it and I ran with it. And it took me 2 years to be like, no, wait a second. Damn it.
Oh my
Ah,
gosh. I've done
And
that
so
dance so many times.
how many times do we take the bait? And
Yeah.
subconscious is like, good job. We brought her back. She's safe.
She's
Safe
safe
with her
now.
she's safe now with her old beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why spirituality is all about consciousness and why we have the cliche words of being woke, right?
Yeah.
Being woke. What does that mean? You're woke to what you're manifesting, to what you're saying, to what you're believing, to what you're allowing in. You're woke to your thoughts. You're listening to your thoughts. You're observing your thoughts. You're guiding your thoughts and you're guiding the direction of what you're creating, not the other way around.
Yes.
So that's essentially goddess empress power. And so with this, I don't know if we talked about the workbook. Did we talk about that?
No, yeah. Tell us all about what you're working on right now and what you
So of
have going
course,
on, like how people can connect with you and everything.
oh yeah, definitely. So of course I have my rising goddess transformational experience. That to me is my home, you know. Um, I worked with a strategist for Lovesgravity and he brought it all into perspective. He's like, you scaled everything beautifully, right? You scaled it from the rising goddess experience to the coaching to blah 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 to the all the way to the retreats. He's like, you've scaled it beautifully. However, he said the rising goddess transformational experience is your hub. It's who Lovesgravity is. And I was like, I cried in the session.
Aw.
I was like, oh my God, yes. That gives me breath. That gives Lovesgravity air. It's the heart of Lovesgravity. That's why I started it in the first place, to be with women and to inspire them, to teach them, to activate the self-love within them, to activate the empress and goddess energy within them, right? That's what it is. And so that will never go away. And it's very special to me. I don't do a lot of them. They're very long sessions, so I'm very protective of them. I do them here in my office. We were talking about that. It's not something that I just give out or give away. You're either called to that or you're not, right?
Yeah.
So that is one thing that you can experience with me. And
Which is in Chino, California, for
right,
anyone that's
Chino,
not
California.
here.
Yes. I don't do them on Zoom. I do other types of readings on Zoom or coaching on Zoom, but not the Rising Goddess transformational experience. That is a very special, it's just special. I don't, it came from the depths of my soul, from the cocoon, right?
Yes.
And so it's very special and it does activate. It activates and it shifts. It shifts people. And I do the warrior reading too, which is essentially the same, but it's for men. It activates and it shifts. And I've watched it with my own eyes. So it's just I protect it like this. But I also do the coaching and everything else on Zoom, the retreats to connect with me every Monday night. I do the Fierce Feminine. I started a new series a few weeks ago. It's called the Fierce Feminine and the Four Queens in the Tarot. Essentially, what I'm teaching on those lives is it's IG Live. I'm teaching how to embody the four queens energy. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. I've also included the High Priestess, and then ultimately to then embody the Empress energy. So it's going through the journey of all the queens, the High Priestess, and then embodying the Empress. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful because I'm showing you this is the disempowered queen and this is the empowered queen. These are the two aspects. Where do you land? Where do you fall? How can we shift you to be in the empowered state of all the queens? Because as we know, all the queens then gets you to that high priestess and empress energy.
Wow.
So I've been doing those, and they're beautiful and magical and life changing. And then I'm working on the workbook, which is going to be a beautiful tabletop book, artistic book. It'll include my tarot cards essentially, because I'm starting a deck. So it'll be the four queens, the high priestess, and the empress. So it'll be the designs, and then also the workbook where you can work through each queen and journal and all of that, and learn how to then get to the empress
Love it.
energy. So it's 6 years in the making. This is everything that I've learned and embodied myself and have taught, and then now getting put into this, I guess you want to call it a workbook. So that is beautiful for me. I still do every now and then playtime with Viv, where I read for others for fun. It's
Oh,
just,
okay.
I've been busy, but every now and then I'll pop on, IG live, and I'll do playtime with Viv. And that's just fun time. I'll pull 3 cards for everyone, and, you know, have a little bit of fun there. So, but
Love
yeah,
it.
and then of course the
And
retreats.
then, and you're getting published,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah, I'm getting published on, it's called Witchology. It's a magazine, and this will be for the summer issue, and it's again the four queens, embodying the four queens and the empress energy into your own feminine journey. So how do you embody those queens and integrate it into your own feminine journey, your own journey in relationships, love, career, whatever it is. So that's happening this month as well. And yeah,
And then
that's
you have these really fun, well, right now, currently, the live in-person monthly dinners, Real Talk,
yes,
Table
yes.
Talk. And I went last month, and like my stomach hurt from laughing so hard, while equally just being so full from this amazing homemade Italian dinner from Viv. It was like such a magical experience. And she draws a card for each person, and just like you're able to connect with people in such a beautiful way, which we didn't have for a couple years there. And so
Yeah,
this is kind of how it was birthed, right? To kind of like
yeah,
bring back that in-person community.
100%. Real table talk dinners just came from like wanting to connect with my community, my clients, my friends, men and women. I really push for men to come because men don't have an outlet like that. Women always have a goddess circle or something, right? Men don't. They don't have a setting where they can feel comfortable and it be a safe space where they can open up. And so I thought I need to create, what do men like? Well, they freaking like food, right? What man doesn't like Italian food?
Oh
Tell
my
me.
God. I don't know one. No.
So, and I can cook like a motherfucker, right?
Yes, you
Have
can.
started cooking
My taste buds are
Italian.
like watering just thinking about your pasta.
Yeah. And so I thought I have this cute little home and the space to have a round table, and we've got 12 guests at every dinner, and it's very intimate and beautiful. And we ask deep questions, or sometimes fun questions. We talk about sex, we talk about anything. There's no limit to what we talk about. And when I started last year, and I've been doing them every month since last year, I'm always booked at every single dinner.
Amazing.
Men need it,
Yeah.
and they open up and they love it. And I'm talking straight men, gay men, bi men, trans men, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
they need this, and they open up because again, they don't have something like this like women. And so they find themselves to feel safe. And they've I've got many that come over and over again. So they eat delicious food. I make a 4-course Italian meal: pasta, homemade salad dressing. I'll make cannoli or some type of dessert. We have espresso and a limoncello toast, a appetizer, right? So bruschetta or something like that,
Yeah.
and of course delicious wine. And so it's a beautiful evening. It's intimate and special and a lot of fun. A lot of
Yeah.
fun. And I've learned things, even like, what did we talk about last time? I think it was like bathhouses or something in Vegas,
Yeah.
like eight bathhouses. And I was like, what rock do I live under?
Right?
Cool. I mean, I something I never knew about, but like, what rock did I live under? And so we learn things that you never would have maybe learned or known
Yeah,
about unless you're in that
absolutely.
world, right?
Yeah.
So we learn tolerance, and we learn, and I send an email out and I explain that there is nothing, there are no limitations. We are not here to judge. We are here to tell our story, to share. Please tell your story because your story can impact and heal someone else.
Yes.
So we've heard so many different stories through the year.
I'm so glad you said that too, because I think like when people are called to like create a soul driven business of some kind, sharing your story becomes a part of that journey so much. But people that aren't, that love their job and have no desire to go start a business or something, it's like they don't really have these opportunities to just share their life experiences that way, but they're equally as powerful as someone who's like a quote unquote healer or not. It's like
Oh
your
gosh,
story is healing no matter whether you like monetize it in some way or not, you know?
beautifully
So
said.
that's what I love
Powerful.
about this so much. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I find that everyone that comes finds somehow to share their story or their perspective on something. And it just moves me. It moves me because, again, yes, everybody's story matters, and everybody's story and life journey can and will impact your neighbor or the next person. And so we are all so powerful. We are all healers in one way or another. So it's a beautiful part of Lovesgravity that I hope to continue as long as I can. Who knows, what it turns into, but it's every month, yeah. And now the pull classes as well, the seduction pull classes that I've also trying to do every month, which is bringing in that sensual feminine energy, the
Mm,
all encompassing goddess energy. I believe that you can be all those things. You can be
yes.
sensual and seductive and spiritual and fierce and all of the, right? That's why we talk about the four queens, the high priestess, and the goddess. They are all the same person,
Mm,
right? The high priestess being the most spiritual and mystical, and the queen of wands being the most seductive and passionate and, right, sensual. So they all go together. They're not a separate person.
yeah.
And this is a powerful story as well. My dad, hopefully dad and mom won't watch this, but and even if they did, it's part of my story. We had a conversation about this, and he told me a couple of years ago that, yeah, when you're back in the 70s, like you don't go for the sexy woman to marry. Like it was one or the other, right?
Yeah.
It was, you either choose the good wife, right? The wife that's going to be safe and a good mom and comes from a good family, and right, you're either going to choose her or the sexy one. You can't have both. And I was floored. And in that moment, it was another confirmation of my work and why I do what I do, because that was a whole other shit show, right? Them picking this relationship where they, or relationship, right? Love my parents, but let's keep it real. That's
Relationship
that's my next series, by the way. Is it a relationship or
or
relationship?
relationship.
That's
I love
happening.
that
That's
so
Yeah,
much.
that's probably happening in I think the summer or fall. I'm gonna do like a whole series on that.
Awesome.
So that to me was like, wow, yes, you can actually. You can have both. You can have all of that. But so many people didn't choose that or don't. And so they don't have the fullness of what a beautiful relationship could be, a connection, right? You can have the soulmate connection. She can be sexy and sensual. She can be the queen of pentacles and be a wonderful mother and grounded. She can be all those things, right? And so that's why I also included the pull classes, which helps women be in their body and connect with that sensual part of them and learn how to move and flow in that very sensual feminine way. That itself is healing.
Yeah.
That itself is healing for the feminine. So I got all kinds of shit going on,
I
girl.
know. It's awesome. I'm celebrating you so much and just like it's so beautiful to witness you answering like every calling that comes up, every step that's like presented to you on your path. You go for it, like you leap and you do it. And it's so inspiring. It's so inspiring to just know you and like be in your energy and like get to hear your mission. And I was like tearing up just hearing about Lovesgravity again. And it's not just because
Yeah.
I know you and I've witnessed like your journey, it's because it is such a powerful statement. And I know it's going to resonate with so many people. So just thank you with my whole heart for sharing to my community to just like send this message to people that haven't heard it yet. And yeah, really allow that divine goddess within to just like be present, to be a part of your life. But it's so beautiful. Your mission is
Absolutely,
amazing.
absolutely. We're all individual, and there are no limitations. There are
Yes.
no limitations. I say fuck. I don't always do the right thing. That's me, and yet I claim and command that I am a goddess.
Yes.
That I am a self-love activator. I don't have to look a certain way or be like humming all day long in
No.
order for me to be in that energy. So,
Yeah. It's
and
like
that's
quieting those old roles, like that old conditioning. Like, where did it even come from? Like, there is no right way to do it or wrong way to do it. So, yeah,
yeah.
I just love that you own it. Thank you for all that you are, Viv. I love you so
I love
much.
you too. Thank you. And I'm proud of you too. And yeah, we'll be doing more of these for sure.
Yes. Yay. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have enjoyed this episode, I would be so dang grateful if you shared it with others, subscribed to this podcast, and left an awesome review. You can also connect with me anytime on your favorite social platform at Amy Hates Carrots or visit amyhatescarrots.com for all of my latest offers and free goodies that will help further support you on your journey. And just as a reminder, you, my dear, are truly limitless, and every single thing that you need is already within you now. You get to choose at any moment to live as the truest version of you and come home to the remembering of your unlimited power. I love you and your gorgeous soul so much, and I hope that you have a limitless day.